Hello, welcome to Canvas Basics Part 2. My name is James Hurd, and I'm with the Office of Faculty Development at Fayetteville State University. So, last time in Canvas Basics Part 1, we went over how to access Canvas, where to log in, and we went over pretty much everything in the global navigation over here to the left, minus the administrative icon because faculty won't have that. But we did a broad overview of all these things here. This time in Canvas Basics Part 2, we're going to go in and I'm going to give you a broad overview of the course tools inside the course and how to start setting up your courses. So let's go inside of a course. And this is a blank course shell, so your new courses are going to look like this unless you've inherited a course from someone else that had already worked in it previously. But this is what a blank course shell looks like. So over here on the left, we've got the course navigation. And again, in part 1, we explained that this was the global navigation. You'll see that all throughout. This is the course navigation. And these are all the different sections of the course. So over here in the middle, this is what the blank page starts out as. You can use it to create a new module right away or start adding content right away. You've got the Add Module button here. Here is the button that lets you know whether the course is published or not published. Once you publish this course, though, you should note that as soon as a student submits an assignment, quiz, or discussion, you won't be able to unpublish the course. So make sure everything is the way you want it in the course before you decide to publish, because once students start submitting material, you won't be able to change anything. And these buttons here, they'll allow you to import content from the Commons, choose a home page, you can view the course stream, the course setup checklist, make a new announcement, or importantly here, this is student view. This will allow you to see the course from the student perspective. So if you want to make sure that content is published or unpublished or is visible to the students or accessible, look in the student view and that'll give you the course from their perspective and you can see whether those items are available to them or not. The coming up section will display things that need to be graded here. And here at the top are the course links. The one in the end tells you where you are, and you'll always see the course home back here. So if you need to get out of something in the course and you want to go back, you can click this link here to take you back to the course home. So before we get into the course building, let me explain what's all in these course navigation links over here. You can use this button here to hide the course navigation menu if you want to see more of what's on the screen here. So you can use that to toggle back and forth. And of course the first thing on this list is the home link. Now the home link is going to be linked to what you choose to be the home page. So I'm going to click that here, this button over to the right, and you can choose different things to be the home page: the course activity stream, the front page, course modules, the assignments list, or the course syllabus. We recommend that you create a home page and make one of those pages your front page, and you're going to need to set that first before you make it into your home page. Okay, so the next section is announcements. And of course this is the area where you're going to create and add announcements for the course on a regular basis. Give students updates on things like changing due dates, what happens, what they need to do if the university is going to be closed for an extended period of time due to inclement weather, if you're not going to be in class, things of that nature. This is also a good place for you to introduce yourself to the course and tell the students where to get started and explain some of the course materials that are inside the course and what they need to do with them. So to create an announcement, you're just going to click on the Add Announcement button here. Put in the topic title and type a message. And you can customize that message by using the editing buttons here, just like you would in a standard word processing software. You can add a table, you can add insert media, you can link some of this content. You can link text here to a URL, remove the link if you need to, embed images, put math equations in. You can insert things from Khan Academy, TED Talks, external tools, record and upload media. So if you have you can record video messages for your announcements or audio messages, and if you have them pre-recorded, you can just insert those into this section also. Change the font size, and you can also do bulleted lists. This link will allow you to switch between the HTML text editor and the rich content editor. So if you have some HTML skill or you've got HTML content you want to add in, you can do that here in this area. Down here you can choose which course section you want to add this to. If you have more than one section of this course, that will be here. You can add an attachment to this announcement. And then down here you have three options. Delay posting, so if you want to delay the posting of this announcement until a later date, you check that box, and then the calendar will appear here. You'll click on the calendar and then choose your date and time in which you want the announcement to post. And then you have the option for enabling the podcast feed and allowing liking of the announcements. So once you're done with that, you just click save. And there's your announcement. Okay, I went back and added the date for the delayed posting. So once you do that, you'll see this message. The content of this announcement will not be visible to users until whatever date. I set it for August 17th, 5 a.m. So now, if I want to delete this announcement, I can go to the settings and click delete, or I can go back to the announcements area and all your announcements will be listed here, and I'll just check this box and then click the trash can, and it'll ask me if I want to confirm deletion and click delete. Announcement deleted successfully. So the next area is assignments. And notice that assignments is gray, along with pages, files, outcomes, quizzes, and modules. So when you see a course thing that's grayed out like this, that just means that there's either no content or no published content inside that area, and students won't be able to view it. So let's click into that area. And now we're in the assignment section. So let me just for a second explain how Canvas treats the assignment section. You have what's called assignments, you also have discussions, and quizzes. And those are three separate things. However, the assignments area includes not just the assignments, but also the quizzes and graded discussions. And the purpose of that is so that you can put all your graded assignments into different assignment groups. And the purpose of assignment groups is basically for doing weighted grades. Or if you just want to categorize and organize your course content, by homework, quizzes, exams, writing assignments, etc. I'll get into this more when we start doing the course building the modules and adding content and assignments, and come back to this and show you what to do with that content and how to create groups and do the weighted grades. Okay, so let's go on to discussions. So the discussion area, of course, is where you're going to do your discussions, and you can create pinned discussions. So those discussions are always going to stay at the top here in this area, and then you've got your regular discussions, and then you've got the discussions that have been closed because they're past the closing date for the discussion. And you use that plus discussion button to add a discussion. The discussion settings will allow you to manually mark posts as read. So if this is checked, if it's unchecked, then it'll be done automatically. For the student settings, you can choose to allow students to create discussion topics, allow them to edit and delete their own posts, and allow them to attach files to the discussions. And then when you're done with that, you just click Save Settings. But to create their own posts, their own discussion topics, that's generally for if you're going to have the discussion section open, which we don't usually recommend. But if you want the students to be able to create their own discussions, then you'll have to have this section open. But most of the time, you're going to be creating the prompts and they're going to be responding to you, so you don't need to have this open here or checked here. Okay, I'm going to skip over the grade section so we have some course content. So the next area is people. And the people section is basically the course roster. So you'll see your students listed here. You'll see their name, their login ID, their student ID, the section of the course they're in, what their role is, and the last time they were online, as well as the total amount of time they spent in the course. If you have a long list of students, you can search people here from the search box, and you can further narrow it down by their role. Now the people button is an admin thing, so if you need me to add students to your course to make them teaching assistants, or if you have SIs, I can do that. Also, if you're a department chair, I can add you to faculty courses so that you can take a look at your faculty's courses if you need to. So let's move on now to the groups area. So this is also where you can create groups for your course. And we're going to click the Groups tab. So student groups are a useful way to organize students for things like group projects or papers. Every student group gets their own calendar, discussion board, and collaboration tools so they can organize themselves and work together more effectively. You can randomly assign students to groups of a specific size, or manually create and organize the groups. Once your groups are created, you can set assignments to be group submission assignments, which means each group will have one submission for all users of that group. So the group sets will be the different types of groups. So let's say you have a group for project number 1, and then you can create another group set for project number 2, and then you will set the subgroups under each one of those categories. So let's set up a group set here. Click Group Set, type the group set name, then you'll choose whether to allow self-sign up or require the group members to be in the same section. Next, under group structure, you can decide to split the students into however many groups you choose here, or you can create the groups manually. And then when you're done with those options, click Save. I'm not going to go into too much detail with this here. You can ask me about it. because I want to keep this video short as possible. So if you have more questions about the creating groups, just contact me or one of my colleagues and we'll help you out. So next in the list are pages. So pages are a place for you to put your course content and information. You can add things like tables, text boxes, pictures, video, files, and assignments. So let me show you briefly how to create a page. You'll click the Add Page button. You'll put the title of the page here, and in this box you'll create your content. Again, you've got the, just like in announcements, you've got the HTML editing option, rich content editor toggle. So you can put a table here, you can add pictures, video, external links, YouTube videos from the external tools, TED Talk videos, and you've got your standard editing buttons here, and you can create bolded lists, and then you get the option to decide who can edit this page. So it can be only teachers and students, or anyone. And then check that box to add it to the student to do. You can also add course links to your content area. You can add links to pages in the course, assignments, quizzes, announcements, discussions, modules, and different sections of the course navigation. If you click the Files tab, you can add files. If you had already had your file folders and things set up, they'd already be in here, and you can just easily go through and click the folders and then see the list of files. And when you click on those files, it'll add a link to the content area. And I'll show you what that looks like when we get down to the syllabus. If you want to upload a new file that's not in the course, you can click on Upload New File, browse your documents or wherever your file is located, your flash drive, external hard drive, and when you upload it, it'll add it in and then put it into the content area as well as adding it to the file section. And last, we have images. So if you want to add an image here, you can search Flickr for an image, or you can click Upload a New Image, and again, browse your documents, external hard drives, USB flash drives, and upload a new image. You can also notify users that this content has changed if you've made a change by checking that box here. Then when you're done, you're either going to click Save to save the page and work on it later, or if you're completely done with the page and you're satisfied with it, click Save and Publish, and that'll save it and make it visible to the students. Or if you just want to completely stop what you're doing and come back to it later, just click Cancel. Okay, so now let me show you some examples of what a completed page looks like. So here's the home page from the online faculty teaching orientation. So we've created a banner here. We've got some text introducing the course, and then we have these 3 icons and links at the bottom to help the students get started. So now if we go further into the course, this is the welcome page overview for the welcome module. Again, we've got a nice starting image here, and this is telling the faculty what they're going to be doing in the online orientation in the welcome module. List of learning outcomes and objectives, module materials, and then a list of the reading and reviewing assignments with links. And these are the course links like I showed you earlier. So this is a course link to the self-test, online teaching readiness pretest, the introduction discussion board, and the Q&A discussion forum. So next, in the same class, you've got an overview for the first module. So there's some text detailing what the module is going to be about. The learning objectives again. A list of the activities and assessments. And down here, the module assignments with links to files. Internal embedded video here. An external video here on YouTube. Again, course links to a quiz, a discussion, and assignments. Okay, so let's look at another type of course. So here we have an accounting class. This is the home page. So again, you can put images in, text, and there's icons here and corresponding links to different parts of the course. So let's move over to the Module 1 overview page. So you see this is a little bit more simple than the one before in the online orientation. So again, it tells the students what they're going to be covering. So they're covering 3 chapters in the module. And here are the learning outcomes. And then this is the overview page for chapter 1 in the first module. So again, this is detailing what they're going to be covering and a checklist of things they need to do. And the last page I'll show you for this class is the video page. So this is just a collection of videos and files that the students can watch or read copies of through the PDFs. And finally, one more page here from another course. This one is based off of the table from the online course template. So first there's a simple statement of what the module is about. Then you have a table here. It lists the module learning outcomes, the instructional materials that they're going to need for this module, so PowerPoint, PDF, the textbook, and YouTube videos. Then you have a list of assessments and activities. So there's reading assignments and with links to files, and a reading assignment here. It links to an actual assignment, and they can mark that off as done in their checklist, but we'll go into that in more detail later. Video assignment, so here's a list of links to YouTube videos that they can watch to help them complete the assignments. A course link to the discussion board, discussion 1, course link to an assignment, assignment 1, and then a course link to quiz 1. And they have no exams in this module. And then finally, a list of the course learning outcomes. And what this chart helps to do is pair the module learning outcomes with the course learning outcomes and show how the instructional materials and assessments and activities are all aligned together to help achieve these goals. And that's it for Pages. Alright, so now let's talk about files. So the files area is exactly what it sounds like. This is going to be the place where you will upload your files for the course. And it's pretty simple to use. To help keep it organized, you can create folders. So I'm going to click on Add Folder here. So now I'll name the folder Lecture Videos. Let's create another folder. We'll call this one PowerPoints. Call this one Documents. And Forms. As you see, as I've been adding these, the outline has also been growing in relation to the folders I've been adding. And if you want to upload any of these, you just, for example, Documents, click the link, click Upload, navigate to your files, click the file or files, and click Open, and then they will upload into that particular folder. Down here you'll see a bar, and this lets you know how much storage you have used out of the 524.3 megabytes that are available. So that's a good way to keep track of your space. Now videos obviously are going to be larger in size than the majority of your other documents, so take care when adding PowerPoints with lots of pictures or video files, because they can eat up your space really quickly. So in that case, we recommend either putting the videos on YouTube, the FSU media server, or using a cloud-based server like Google Drive to store some of your documents. Alright, I'm going to skip over the syllabus area for the moment. Next is outcomes. You can add outcomes to your course, but mainly this area is used for creating and managing rubrics. My colleague Shante Haley created an entire workshop on that, so look for that on our website or on the OFD FSU YouTube page. Alright, next is quizzes. So quizzes, Canvas refers to everything as a quiz, so quiz, exam, test, they're all referred to as a quiz, so that's the language Canvas uses. They'll all be listed here. If you want to add a quiz, you just click Add Quiz. If you want to look at your question banks, click on the Settings button in the quiz area and then go to Manage Question Banks. We'll go into more detail on how to create a quiz when we start building the course modules. But before we get into the modules, let me wrap up this last section of course links in the course navigation. So let's go to Conferences. Conferences is basically where you can do web conferencing with your students and communicate with them via voice or webcam or chat. So if you've used any other web conferencing tools like WebEx or Adobe Connect or Zoom, this is Canvas's version of it. I'll go into more detail about that in the Canvas Basics 3 workshop. So let's move on to collaborations. So collaborations is an area where you can share your Google Docs or work in a document in Office 365. We'll cover this more in the Google Tools workshop, which is soon to come online. So again, look for that on our OFD website or in the OFD FSU YouTube video site. So now let's talk about attendance. You can take attendance within Canvas, and the easy way to do that is you'll see your list of students here. So you'll go to each student and you can either just click right here to toggle the attendance, or click more where it gives you a list of options. So if you want to mark a student present for that day, click the checkbox. If they're absent, click the X. If they're late, click the clock. And then if you want to leave it unmarked, you'll click that symbol there. Next, we have the chat area. So this is the chat room for the course. You can open up to the students if you want to have maybe online office hours and have those students communicate with you remotely. You can open this up and students can come in here, type in the box, click send. They can insert emojis. If you want to get message alerts every time someone adds something, you can click that button here, and it tells you how many people are online in the chat room. Next is Follett Discover, and this is for people that are using the Follett publisher for their coursework. If you're using that publisher's work, you'll add that content here. Next is the Lockdown browser. So Respondus Lockdown Browser is a tool that you can use to help prevent cheating during your online quizzes. And what it does is it's an actual browser that the students can download at home, or if they want to, they can come to one of the labs at Fayetteville State University that has it, and they will open up the browser, go to Canvas, and then take their test through the browser. And they won't be able to click on anything outside the browser, open up any programs unless you specify, and it'll keep them contained in the browser so they can't go to outside sources. So if you click on that link here, it'll take you to the welcome page. You can watch a video about Lockdown Browser. There's also video tutorials here on how to use it. Some links to show you how to get started, and more resources. We give training from time to time on Lockdown Browser. If you don't want to wait for that, you can click here and sign up for one of their monthly webinars and receive training. So now let's move on to Office Mix. Now Office Mix is no longer on Canvas. The website has been shut down. Now if you want to access Office Mix, you have to do it through PowerPoint, either in the Mix tab or in different areas throughout the different tabs in PowerPoint, depending on what version you have. Some of the features that it has is that it enables you to do slide recordings. You can record audio. You can record live web pages, so you can be in PowerPoint and be in a web page at the same time without having to come out of it. You can add course content from Khan Academy. You can add content from different sources. You can add learning modules, and you can add quizzes to your PowerPoints as well. If you'd like some assistance with Office Mix, I'd be more than happy to set up a one-on-one with you and we can work on it. There's also YouTube videos out there about Office Mix, so you can find a variety of resources on how to use it. Now on to SCORM. SCORM stands for Shareable Content Object Reference Model. Basically what SCORM is it's a format that a lot of different learning modules and things are put in so that they're usable among different LMSs. So for example, if you use the Adobe Articulate software or the Adobe Captivate software, the product you create out of that can be converted to SCORM, and then you can import that SCORM package into your course here. So now let me show you an example of a SCORM project that has been added to a Canvas course. So here's the learning module. It plays in this window here. Now in this particular version, the presentation was done in person, but you could add video content to this learning module, so the students will see that first, and then upon completing that video content, they take a quiz. Okay, so I didn't do too well, but so then when the student's done, they can go through, put their name in, and now it's generated a certificate for them. So you can print this out. The students can print this out and hand it to you, scan it, take a picture of it to let you know that they've completed the learning module. Bronco Connect, or as it's commonly known, Starfish, is a retention software that we use at Fayetteville State to help keep track of students' academic progress, and allows faculty to give students alerts if the student is in danger or at risk for not having a successful semester. I'm not faculty, so I don't have access to it, so I can't really go into the details of it, but they do have workshops. You can contact John Brooks if you'd like some more information about how Bronco Connect works. Office 365. So Office 365 will allow the students to log into the system and access Office programs like Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Excel, etc. Okay, let's move on to the Proctor Free system. So Proctor Free is one of several proctoring systems we have at Fayetteville State. We've got Proctor Free, ProctorU, UNC Online, and Respondus Monitor. Office of Faculty Development doesn't do training on these, but we can try to assist you if you needed to do some proctoring in your courses. And you can also contact the testing center if you need assistance. So last but certainly not least is the settings. So there are 5 tabs in the settings. The first one is course details. You'll have your course name, course code here, time zone. You can put in the semester or term if you want to. The start and end dates. It's a good idea to put these in so that way for students that are registered in your course, they'll see the course in their future enrollments, and then when the course ends, it'll get moved to their past enrollments. And that just helps keep older courses out of the way and the newer courses closer to the top in the courses section for the students. Check this if you only want students to participate between these course dates that you set up. Check this box if you want to restrict students from viewing the course after the end date. Check this box if you want to restrict students from viewing the course before the course starts. And down here you have the course format, so you'll pick on campus, online, or blended. And down here you have more options, so you can let students self-enroll, show a certain number of announcements on the course homepage, allow students to attach files to discussions, let students create discussions, etc., etc. And then when you're done with that, you'll click Update Course Details to make those changes permanent. The next tab is the section. So if you had multiple sections of a course, they'd be listed here. The navigation tab. So what this is, this affects the order and listing of things in your course navigation. So let's say, for example, if I wanted to remove the Proctor free items, I would click here and drag all these down. Let's say I also wanted to remove the quizzes, files, discussions, and assignments. And I also wanted to move grades down here. So all items that have been dragged under this area are going to be hidden from the students. So click Save. So now you see the items have been reordered. The Proctor free stuff is no longer showing up. And now I can continue. So if I want to do more, click Save again. And now it's pared down even more. And it's a good practice to do this when you first start a course. It helps keep your course navigation nice and neat, and it helps keep the students from getting lost in the course, especially removing the assignments, discussions, and quizzes. All that should be redirected towards the modules. That way they get all their assignments and course content in one area, and they don't have to search around too much for everything. Our online and hybrid course templates take care of this course navigation automatically. So if you have one of those types of courses, be sure to go to the comments and import that. And that'll help out a lot and save you some time. So the next tab is the Apps tab. So this here is a list of external apps that can be used in Canvas. And as you see, there are many. So we have a very robust list of apps that you can use. So take some time to go through this list and see what might be useful to you in your courses. So let's get to that last tab, feature options. I'm going to skip over most of this because there's a lot here, and again, for time. But the most important thing, well, not the most important thing, but one of the main features here is the enabling dashboard images for courses. So I'll show you what that looks like. So I'm going to check that. Come back to course details, update course details, and now I have a place for me to put an image that will appear in the dashboard, like these here. So let's go back to settings. This right here tells you if your course is published or not. Right now this is unpublished. Over here on the right we've got share to commons. So I can take this course and share it to the commons. So what that is a repository of course materials that have been developed by other Canvas users, and the things they want to share they put in here, and you're free to utilize any of their course tools, quizzes, assignments, modules, etc. And if you want to access FSU content only, you're going to come over here, click the filter button, scroll down, click the Fayetteville State University button, close this, and now you're looking only at Fayetteville State University created content. And here is our Canvas Online course template and the Canvas hybrid course template. So let's go back to settings and take a look at the student view. So the student view allows you to see your course from the perspective of one of your students. So now that I've clicked on that, you can see I'm now in student view based on this purple banner at the bottom. It tells me I'm currently logged into student view. And you see when I cleaned up the course navigation, this is all that's visible to the student now. So all those extra links that the student didn't need are no longer visible, and it just makes the course a lot cleaner looking. Alright, so this is all the student's able to see. Now if you want to get out of this, just click Leave Student View. Sometimes if things aren't appearing right, you might need to reset the student view, so you can click on that here. But to get out of it, just click Leave Student View, and you return back to the faculty mode. Next on the list is the course statistics. So this will show you the number of discussions, number of discussion posts, assignments, quizzes, quiz questions, and quiz submissions. In the assignment tab, you'll see the assignment usage report. You'll see the different types of assignments and the number of each one of those types of assignments and the number of submissions for each one of those types of assignments. You would see a list of students here in a regular course. It's just me for this one. And then the file storage lets you know how much storage you've used, how much data you're using in your limited file storage. We went over the course calendar in part 1, so I'm not going to go through that again here. Next you have to conclude this course. So basically what this does is it will archive the course content and prevent you from modifying the grades. So basically it'll lock it up and you won't be able to access it after that. So don't recommend you do that, just in case. Delete this course. It gives you the option to delete the course. You might not have this in your classes because those are generated by Banner. If you do have that option, please be careful. Copy this course. So you can use this to create a copy of the course. And there's another way to do that here. We'll import course content. So this blank shell, I can copy a Canvas course. So again, this option, so I can put in the course name here and I can copy that course content into this course. And then you have the option to choose if you want to copy all the content or select specific content like just the quizzes, just the assignments, specific modules, and other content. And you have the option to adjust the events and due date. So if you've got a course that's 16 weeks and it's got a particular start and end date, if you put another beginning date for the spring semester, it'll keep the same length. It'll match the assignment due dates at around the same time interval as in the previous course. Next on the import list is a Canvas course export package. So of course that was exported from Canvas. If you have that export package, it can be imported into this course. So instead of using the copy, you can export your course into a file and then take that file and import it here. And again, you can choose either all content or select the specific content that you want. So you can also import zip folders, import content from the Angel LMS, the Blackboard LMS, common cartridges, the D2L LMS, Moodle, the Moodle LMS, and QTI files. And this is used especially when you're importing content from Respondus test generator. Export course content. So you can choose to export the entire course or export your quizzes. You can export all quizzes. I don't have any more on the list here, but if there were more, if you had multiple quizzes here, they would all be listed and you could check mark which ones you wanted or one individual one and click create export, and Canvas will create an export file for that particular quiz. Then you could take that file and import it into another Canvas course. Okay, I've jumped into another course so you can see what that looks like. So I've selected quiz and all quizzes. All the quizzes are checked here. If I uncheck it, I can pick a particular quiz. Say quiz 1. Click create export. It does its thing, and now you have the new export link here to click on. Click on this, you'll download that file, and then you can go to another Canvas course and upload that quiz into the course. Reset course content. Resetting the course content is exactly what it sounds like. It's going to reset all the content of your course. So be very careful when selecting this option. So that means it's going to delete the modules, it's going to delete the assignments, it's going to delete discussion boards. All of these course navigation links are going to go back to the way they were at the beginning of this workshop. Everything will be gone. Validate links and content. This is the course link validator. The course link validator searches course content for invalid or unreachable links and images. So if you click on that, it'll start searching and then it'll generate a report on the broken links and images that are in the course. I don't have any content in that course, so let me show you what it looks like after you've run the link validation. So it shows here there are 7 broken links and where they're at. They're in the Start Here page, the Canvas course template page, and the Canvas support page. So now I can go to those areas and reestablish the links and make sure they work. Okay, so in the interest of time, I'm going to save the course building section for Canvas Basics 3, and that works out better because that workshop leads more toward the grading side anyway. So we'll create modules, add content to the modules, including assignments, discussions, graded discussions, and quizzes, and then we'll go in and show you how to grade that content. Alright, this is Canvas Basics 2. Thank you for joining me. And if you have any questions, please feel free to contact the Office of Faculty Development. My office number is 910-672-1195, or you can reach me by email at jheard, JHEARD, @uncfsu.edu. Thank you.